Hello everyone. My name is Nitin, and today in this session, we will going to discuss about the artificial intelligence and its prerequisites. I'm going to start with the session. Before that, let me have my quick introduction. My name is Nitin, and I'm having 5 year plus experience in data science, machine learning, artificial intelligence, and big data. These kind of technologies. Last, I worked on DXC technology in Bangalore location. For Bangalore location. Currently, I'm working with mapping skills. As a data scientist consultant. Today we will going to discuss about the artificial intelligence and its prerequisites, or we can say, and its applications. First of all, I'll tell you the artificial intelligence and the its prerequisites, AI and its prerequisites. If you want to learn artificial intelligence, one more thing. If you have any question, any doubt, you can put your question in the comment box. I will be able to answer from there only. Okay, okay. Before AI, if you want to learn artificial intelligence, before that you need to understand what is artificial intelligence and what all the prerequisites we have to work on the artificial intelligence. If you want to work on artificial intelligence, first of all, you need to work, or you should have, or you should be aware of machine learning. What is machine learning? I'll tell you that as well. Before machine learning, you need to know about the data science, and after learning machine learning, you need to know about next level, that is deep learning. And before data science, you need a language. With that particular language, you can communicate with all these technologies: artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning, data science. So you need a language. So that language could be any programming language: Python, R, Java, C++ as well. So I prefer here Python. So you need to require only these particular four things if you want to work on AI. So now we will discuss step by step what is Python, what is DS, what is ML, what is ML, what is DL, what is DS, what is AI. So first of all, Python. Python is a programming language. It is a high-level programming language. The lines of code are extremely less. If you compare Python with the other programming languages, just like C++, Java, .NET, C Sharp, the lines of code are extremely less in Python. This is the main advantage of Python. The second thing is Python is just like a broken English language. We are using functions which are actually we can connect with the layman terms. Anyone can learn Python almost within a week or within a 2 week. Anyone. Now, what is DS? What is ML? What is DS? And what is AI? So first of all, what is AI? See waiting room. Just wait. I'm getting some pop-ups. See waiting room. Yeah, a link of the session will be given by the Apurv. In the group chat, they are asking for the link. Yes, ma'am, Swapna, actually pharmacy, or you can relate machine learning, data science, AI in any profile. Uh, a question has been raised from Swapna, and she asked, can we relate this technology with the pharmacy? So yes, we can. Let's say currently there is a situation going on, Corona crisis, and I have a student. He's in Galgotia College, not University College. He has developed a model. In that model, you need to put any X-ray, any kind of X-ray, and that model will going to tell you whether that person is suffering from COVID-19 or not. He actually prepared that model, and you can Google it in YouTube. Also, you can get n number of models related to this particular problem. So he has created his own model for COVID-19. Similarly, you can create your own model for medical science. Let's say if you want to know about the mutation of genes, these kind of problems, if you want to know, you want to do your research or thesis on DNA, RNA, these kind of things, you can do that with the help of machine learning, data science. It will going to make your task easy. You don't need to go in deep because we have already developed an application which is completely based on stats. So you can better understand these scenarios. Now, again, we will come to the basic main part, that is artificial intelligence. So I'm going to open Paintbrush. Again, 8 people have entered waiting room. Why I'm getting this warning again and again? Apoor, just check. I'm getting some pop-up. Waiting 8 people have entered in the waiting room for this meeting. Means I'm getting again and again this pop-up message. So now we will discuss what is AI, what is, we will categorize all the domains separately. First of all, what is AI? So let's say we will analyze this particular thing with the Venn diagram. This is AI. This is AI. AI is an application which consists of machine learning, data science, and deep learning. AI is a subset. Actually, AI is a superset. AI is a superset. So AI is nothing but an application. It enables the machine to think itself, to make its own decision. That is AI. Now, if you want to work on AI, if you want to develop any particular AI application, then you need to work on machine learning as well. So, machine learning is a subset of AI. This is machine learning. Now, if you are having the knowledge of machine learning, again, there is one more thing, and that is deep learning. Machine learning is something, we have some statistical tools. With that tools, we can explore data, we can analyze data, we can learn model with that particular data. That is machine learning. I will discuss each and every step again. But as of now, I'm just giving you the brief, just the small description, kind of synopsis. Then after machine learning, we have one more thing, that is deep learning. Deep learning, deep learning. So what is deep learning? Machine learning, what is machine learning? Machine learning is a statistical tool to explore data, or we can say to learn my model with that particular data is nothing but the machine learning. This is a field of machine learning. Now, what is deep learning? So deep learning is a concept of like, can we transfer the thinking of human to the machine, just like we are thinking with the neurons, perceptrons, the dendrites, axon, just these kind of things we are thinking. Can we transfer this thinking to the machine? This is a deep learning. We will transfer the machine, we will transfer the human learning capabilities to the machine, so that machine will understand, machine will going to make prediction just like human do. This is deep learning. So now, after this, we have one more term left, that is data science. What is data science? Data science is actually the overlap of these three domains. Overlap means we can overlap all the things. Yes, this thing. This is data science. Data science. So now, what is data science? So science is nothing but the visualization of data, or we can say understanding of data. How my data is deviated, how my data is carrying the information, how my data is relative to that particular problem, or how my data is, I can say, uh, relevant to my problem, and what all irrelevant problems I have, irrelevant data I have in my data. We can say to filter out my data, to clean my data. These all things comes under data science. Or we can say visualization. Visualization means ki how this data or how this factor is actually impacting my this result. Let's say if I talk about diabetes, so how my hemoglobin is actually impacting the result of having diabetes. We can visualize this particular thing with the help of data science. So in this, we have a mathematical tools like probability, statistics, linear algebra, matrix algebra. These kind of things we have in data science. Along with the language we need, that I already told you, that Python. We need a language. From that particular language, with the help of that particular language, we can relate all the things together. So this is the scenario of AI. This whole thing is actually AI. Or I can write, this full package is an example of AI application. This full package is an example of AI application. So voice is low. Oh, sorry. Okay, I'll speak a little louder. So this is the example of AI application. So now, today we will going to start with a basic project of prediction. First of all, I'll tell you about the data. Or let's say, first of all, we will explore where again I'm getting this pop-up message. Okay, paint this thing, DS. First of all, we will explain we will discuss the subtopics of data science. So the subtopics of data science is probability, linear algebra, calculus, I guess that comes under linear algebra, and then matrix, or we can mention stats as well here. What's wrong? Wait. Linear algebra, calculus, probability, stats. These are the topics which comes under data science. In this, we can have correlation, we can have regression as well, correlation, these kind of things we have in data science. Now we will talk about deep learning. What is deep learning? In deep learning, we have a thinking of human we are going to transfer to the machine. We are thinking with the help of neurons, artificial neural network, convolutional neural network, RNN recurrent neural network, optimizers, learning rate, transfer learning, model persistence, these kind of things we have in deep learning. Artificial neural network is just like our normal thinking, how humans think. We will use some deep layers, neural network, neurons, hidden layers, output layer, input layers, these kind of things we will going to use, just like human. Let's say it may rain, so I should take umbrella or not. We will think like human on the basis of previous experience. I know this is a season of autumn or rainy, so I should carry umbrella because this is a season of rain. So I should take umbrella. Just like we are thinking, we have to transfer this kind of thinking to the machine. That will be considered as a deep learning. Now the next thing is machine learning. Machine learning. So machine learning is actually two types of machine. We are having two types of machine learning. That is supervised, unsupervised. If you Google it, sometimes you will get three types of machine learning. That is reinforcement. But I generally consider only two types of machine learning: supervised and unsupervised. In supervised, we have techniques, algorithms like linear regression, logistic regression, k nearest neighbor, naive Bayes theorem, decision tree, random forest, uh, sentimental analysis, these kind of things we have in supervised machine learning, where we have input as well as we have output. Now we'll talk about the unsupervised machine learning. In unsupervised machine learning, we don't have output column. We only have the inputs. So in this, we are going to make the group. we are going to make the clusters of the data. Let's say I have the data of entire MACD worldwide. So as of now, as I don't have any output, what I will do, I will do the grouping, like I will separate the India data, I will separate the UK US data, this kind of thing. This will be done in unsupervised machine learning. Then reinforcement machine learning. Reinforcement machine learning is just like hit and trial method. If machine is doing good, we will reward them. If machine is doing if it is not doing good, we will penalize it. This kind of things will be there in reinforcement machine learning. Now, AI. AI is the set of these all things. So as I said before, AI is a superset of data science, deep learning, machine learning, and one programming language. In AI, we can have LSTM, we can have Q learning, we can have so many things, but they all are related to machine learning, data science, deep learning. So if you are very good in optimizers, neural network, or CNN, RNN. Oh wait, I didn't explain about these things. So ANN is just like artificial neural network. If you want to calculate a normal problem, just like we did in supervised machine learning, you can do the same thing with the help of artificial neural network. CNN is basically responsible for image recognition system. If you want to develop an image recognition system, then you have to work on CNN, convolutional neural network. It has 4-layer architecture, that is convolutional layer, then the max pooling layer, then the flattened layer, and last full connection. We have 4 layers in the CNN. Then RNN. RNN is recurrent neural network. Basically, we are implementing this particular model to the that particular problem where we are having the time, means where data is dependent on time. Let's say forecasting, weather forecasting. If you want to do weather forecasting, then that particular data is actually dependent on time. We know the season of summer, winter, rainy, autumn, this kind of things. So that data is forecasting is actually depend on time. We can't predict कि in June, July, the temperature will go down to 1 degree, 2 degree, 0 degree, something like that. We can't, because we know here data is dependent on time. The time of June and July, temperature can't drop to this particular value. It can drop, but not up to this value. So when it comes to time dependent data, we should focus on RNN, recurrent neural network. So this is the architecture of AI. Now we will create one application. First of all, I'm just removing this thing. Paintbrush. Now I'll come to the Jupyter Notebook. So this is a platform where we can execute our Python codes. Python codes or machine learning code, data science code, machine learning codes. So now, first of all, we'll discuss the problem. First of all, I'm going to import one data set. Then I will tell you about the data set, and then I will create an app of that particular application. So import pandas as PD. This is the Python library, which will be responsible to import my data. pd.read_csv. eDrive 50 startup. I have a file in eDrive. You can see the data. This is my data. So in this data, what I will going to do, I will going to make prediction from this particular data. How I will going to make prediction? First of all, I'm going to remove this column, because this is not important for me as of now. In future, it might be important, but as of now, it is not. So I'm going to delete this column. Data.drop, state column, axis 1. I want to drop this vertically. Now you can see my data set. So this is the company's data set. This company, actually, it invested so much money in the research and development spend, administration, marketing spend, and they want to know their profit. As of now, they have their past data. I have invest some money in this, some money in administration, some money in marketing spend, and I got this much profit. So this is the data of this company. Almost 50 observations I have. You can see 50 observations I have. Now, we will going to divide this data into the input and output. These three columns will be my input, and this profit will be my output because I want to know the profit. So I'm going to divide this data into X and Y. X will be my input. So data.ilog, colon, comma, 0 to -1. You can see this will going to divide my data into input. R&D spend, administration, marketing spend, and one thing is actually I left, that is profit. I'm going to store profit in Y. Data.ilog, colon, comma, -1. You can see Y as well. Y contains profit. This is profit. Now, I have divided my data into X and Y. Now, I'm going to divide my data into the training and test set. So I'm going to use one model from sklearn dot model underscore selection, import train test split. Then I will going to divide my component into 4 parts: training data and test data. X train, X test, Y train, Y test. X train, X test, Y train, Y test. So I guess you are having the basic idea of machine learning because I didn't ask this to you. And today actually I'm starting with the very intermediate session, not with the very basic. So if you want, I can drop my this level. So if in any case you are having any question, any doubt, you can ask in between. I have divided my data into the training and test. Now I'm going to create one model. And this is supervised machine learning because we have input data as well as output data. As I told you before, supervised machine learning is that where we have input data as well as output data. Unsupervised machine learning is that where we have only input data. From sklearn dot linear underscore model import linear regression. This is my model. This is actually my class. So I have to create an object of it. Let's say model equals to linear regression. This model is actually my model. As of now, it is a null model. It won't do anything because I have not trained this model to particular data. So now in machine learning, as per the definition, what I told, in machine learning, machine learning is a statistical tool to explain, to explore data, or we can say to train our model with the data. This is machine learning. So this is my statistical tool. It consists of linear regression, multilinear regression, these kind of things. I'm going to train this model with my data. Model.fit. Fit is a function to train my model. Train my model with the training data. X train, Y train. I have trained my model. Now I'm going to make prediction from this model. Model.predict. Prediction of X test. These are my predicted profit for this data, X test. If you are investing this money, this money, this money, then you will get this much profit. If you are investing this much money, you will get this much profit. I will cross check. I'll check with the verification. I have the real results in this. This was my real result. In real result, it says I should have profit this 14,000, but my model says 49,000. More error. We have more error in this. Now, next case, we have a profit of 90,000. What my model says 74,000. Next thing, my model says 71,498. This is the real profit I got. What my model is predicting 71,090, almost near around. Next thing, 8,500. It says 1,15,000, almost near around. So we can relate with the comparison. A model is a good model or a bad model. Now, if you want to calculate the accuracy, then we will have to use R-square method. From sklearn dot matrices import R2 underscore score. This method will going to tell you the accuracy of your model. If the accuracy is close to 1, then your model is good. If your accuracy is close to 0, then your model is bad. So R2 underscore score. We need to pass 2 variables here. Real output. My real output are there in Y test. Predictor output. My predictor output, I have not saved these predictor output somewhere else. So I have to save it. Let's say ypred equals to this. I have saved my output in ypred. So I will put ypred here. Now it will make a comparison, and on the basis of comparison, it will going to tell me the accuracy. You can see the accuracy is 0.88, means 88%. As I told you before, if the accuracy is close to 1, then your model is good. If your accuracy is close to 0, then your model is bad. So this is machine learning. This is a machine learning model. Now, if still you are not able to understand this, now I'll come to the very basic part, or you can vote. Do you want me to explain this from a very basic part, or this is clear to you, clear to everyone? Can we use logistic regression instead of linear? Okay, Sachin, I'll come to that point. We have less data, then how can we make our model better? Shrestha, as of now, just for the demonstration, I have to choose a small data set. Usually, we will consider data set which is having 1 lakh rows, 2 lakh rows, 10 lakh rows, something like that. But for understanding, you should go with the small data set. From that particular data set, you will understand very, very deep. If you're aware of machine learning, then you should prefer big data sets, large data sets. Or you can collect the data sets from the Kaggle site. So we have a site, Kaggle. In this, we can have n number of data sets. Okay, I'll come to the basic part as well. Just give me a moment. After this, I'll come to the basic part. So here you can collect the data set as well. Let's say I want the data set of COVID. You can see COVID analysis, visualization, comparison, information retrieval, literature clustering. We have COVID-19 data set, analysis, viz, comparison. We have n number of data sets in this site, Kaggle. So register yourself in Kaggle. From here, you will get n number of data sets. They are actually real life data sets, having data more than 1 lakh, 50,000, 10,000, this much amount of data. Now, I'll explain the machine learning again with the very basic knowledge. So I'm removing this particular thing. If you want to take the screenshot, you can take. Okay, so I'm going to remove this. So what is machine learning? We'll try to understand this thing from the very basic. This was requested from most of the people, most of the students. So machine learning, we will understand the scenario. First of all, I have rough data. Let's say this is my rough data. I will import this data into the Python with the help of pandas, and I will represent this data into the tabular form like this. In my data, I have input as well as output, means input as well as output. I can write here input and output. So what do you mean by input or output? Just understand, I have created a model of diabetic doctor. Means, first of all, I've created null model and I have feed the entire data of diabetes, list of 1 lakh patients. They are having diabetes, they are not having diabetes, corresponding with their results. I have passed this entire data to my model, and my model will start training from this particular data. It will going to find the pattern, how my diabetes is actually impacted with those particular input. It will going to make prediction, it will going to understand, it will going to make the pattern, and on the basis of pattern, in future, I will pass the input: hemoglobin count this much, insulin this much, glucose this much, sugar this much, blood red blood cell count this one, and white blood cell count this much. And on the basis of that data, my model will start predicting. Means my model will start do prediction on the basis of past experience. it will tell you whether you are suffering from diabetes or not on the basis of past experience. This is machine learning. So now my data is there. I have input and output. Now I will split this data into two parts. And my two parts are X and Y. My input, they are referred as X. My output, they are referred as Y. This is X. These are my input. This is my output. Output we will represent by Y. So the question again arises, why we represent input as X and why we represent Y as output. So in mathematically, we have understand one equation, Y equals to f of X. So from this equation, you can relate X is my function. X is nothing but my input and Y is my outcomes of that function, or we can say output. So from this particular equation, that is why we are relating my data set input as X, output as Y with this equation actually. So this idea came initially from this particular equation. So X is my input, Y is my output. Now in machine learning, we need two types of data, training and test data. This is my input, this is my output. I need to divide this data into two parts, training and test. Let's say training and test. See, this is my X, this is also my X, this is my Y, this is also my Y. Let's say this is 80%, this is rest 20%. We have divided the data into 80-20% part. This is also X, this is also X. Let's say I have initial data set as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like this. I have divided my data like this. This is separate. This is also X, this is also X. But this is the test portion and this is the train portion. Our train data should be more. Always it should be more. So first of all, we'll change the color. This is my nothing but the training data. Training data. This is my test data, this one. Test data. Now you can see I have actually four components: X train type, X test type, Y train type, Y test type. So this is actually four components. Here we are having four components. So I will write the names of those four components. This is X, but this is actually my train part. So this will become X train. This is Y, and this is a part of train. So this will become Y train. This is X, but this is of test type. So this is X test, X test. Then this Y, and it is a part of test. So this will be Y test. Now we will relate this particular thing with my solution, which I have elaborated here. You can see, first of all, I have imported the data set. You can see here, imported the data set into pandas, this step. Now I have divided my data into X and Y. You can see I have divided my data into X and Y. Now I have divided further, I have splitted my data into training and test part. And in training and test part, I have four components: X train, Y train, X test, Y test. You can see here, X train, X test, Y train, Y test, and my test size 20%. So this both is actually 20-20%. Now, after this, what we have to do, we have to create one empty model. Let's say this is my empty model. This is my empty model. Model name could be anything. What I will do, I will train this model with my training data. So I have training data. This is my training data. I will train this model with this data. After getting trained, my model is ready to predict. But are we sure that this model will going to make right prediction or not? So for this, we will analyze one more scenario over here. Let's say my input is experience, 2 years of experience, 4 years of experience, 5 years of experience, and its corresponding salary. Let's say the salary is 20K, 35K. This is my real salaries of the employees. Now 51K. My model got trained on this kind of data. My model is good or bad. How I will judge this particular thing? I will pass this particular data, only this, to this model. To this model. And it will make prediction on the basis of past experience. So it will make prediction like it says 50K, 36K, 50K, like this. Now we will going to validate whether my model is actually predicting the right things or not. So first value initially it should be 20K. My model says 15K. Close, but error is there. Then next value 35K, 36K. We can say this is good. 51K is the real salary. What my model think 50K. Again it is clear, crystal clear. Okay, my model is actually very good. So this is what I have done here. I have created one model, empty model. I have trained my model with my training data. You can see trained data I have passed to this model. I have passed this trained data to this model. My model got trained. Now I'm going to make prediction. Prediction of what? This X test. This is my X test. This is my Y test. You can see I have made the prediction of X test. And after that, I have to compare, I have to make comparison whether this prediction is good or bad. So for that particular thing, I have used one more mathematical term, that is R square. In R square, I have mentioned both the things, real output and predicted output. You can see my real output, Y test, my predicted output, Y prime. And it will do the comparison and it will give you the result whether this model is good or bad. You can see the accuracy. So this is machine learning. So still, if you're having any doubt, any question, you can ask. I know pandas, Python part has left, but we can't concentrate on that particular thing. So maybe some issues are there with the importing statement or the division statement. That is actually the part of Python. So any doubt? Or I should create an application of this? So for creating application, Python offers you two frameworks. The first one is Django and the second one is Flask. So I will use Flask here. Wait, I have to import the library as well. Pip install Flask. So it will take almost 2 minutes to import the library. You need to restart the kernel. Wait, import Flask. Yeah, done. So now I'm going to make the web application. So for web application, you need to use or you need to be aware of Flask. So this is a separate topic, how we can develop an AI application, a machine learning application. From Flask, import Flask, Flask dot render template. This is quite, as of now, it is difficult. I do understand. Just try to understand what is actually going on here. You don't need to concentrate on the code. Then I need to create an application. So application name is app equals to Flask name. Then I'm creating web application. So it should be direct. It should be open in the local host with one address. Address means the just like google.com. This is the address. So I need to mention domain DNS. Don't go in deep. App.route. Let's say I want to run on the default scenario. Now def, let's say function name Nathan. Then return render template. I have to create one template. We can use Sublime Text. Those who are not aware of HTML, CSS, because I'm not aware of this HTML, CSS, web designing. This tool is very, very important for you if you're not aware of these kind of things. So I will create one HTML file, save into the D drive, let's say D drive, with the name gbu.html. Since this is HTML file, now I don't need to write HTML coding. It will be automated. You can see HTML. The moment when I click on this HTML, everything will be automatically printed or populated. Now the title of my application, machine learning, just machine learning first application, anything. Now here I need to create a form. In this form, I need to write the action. Don't go in deep in the coding as of now, because this is very, very high level of machine learning, artificial intelligence. So let's say the address name is detail, or yeah, details. Then method equals to post. Then I'll write, my first column was actually representing data.head, research and spend, research spend, input, type equals to text, then name, let's say v1, then the next value was administration, so administration, I'm not sure whether I'm correct with the spelling or not. Input, type, text. I want this input to be as a text, and the name of this variable is v2. Then third variable, marketing spend. Input should be text, name v3. And last, we need a submit button. So input submit, and name is also submit. Or if you don't want to mention name, you can, if you want to mention the button name means predict me, submit me, send, sign up, anything you want to write over the button, you can put the text over here. Let's say predict the profit. Now this is my template. My template is ready. I have saved this template. Now I'm going to run this template from here. My template was saved in D drive with the name gbu.html. Now I'm going to run the source code. What is pp? Where I have written this pp? Wait. On the app, okay. App.route. And after this, we need to write one more thing, app.run. I want to run this application now. App.run. You can see it is saying your application is running on this local host. So I'm going to click on that. You can see research spend, administration spend, marketing spend, submit button. Okay, wait. Input type should be, it should display as predict salary. Why it is not actually? Not name. Wait. Just as of now, consider this submit. What should be the name? Actually, I'm not familiar with this HTML. HTML is not a part of my domain because in machine learning, we just need to give this particular data to my development team. They will going to develop application. They are very good with designing banners, button design, button animation, these kind of things. So they are aware of this particular technology. So I will stop here till this point, and I'm going to run this application one more time. So this is I'm getting. Now I will do one more change, break, 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 and break. Now you can see the output now. Stop and start. You can see this is the form. Now what I will going to do, user will provide research and development spend, then administration spend, then marketing spend on the basis of past experience of my machine learning. That machine learning will going to make the prediction from this user's data, and that will going to give you the profit output. Ki how much profit you will get if you are investing this money to the research, this money to the administration, this money to the marketing spend, this much profit you will get, something like that. So for that, what we will going to do, we need that particular data which will be entered by the user in this text box. So for this particular thing, we need to write one more function, app dot route quotes. In quotes, we need to write, always remember, we need to write the form name. What was the form name? You can see details, not detail, details. So I need to write here details, details. And after this, we need to pass one more parameter, that is methods. Methods, we have two types of method, post and get. Post, comma, get. So my application is ready to route. Now I'm going to design what it will going to do. Let's say the function name is now GBU. In this, I will create a function which will going to gather the information which was entered by the user in this text box. Suppose 1234, 2000, so not 2000, 20,000, 1234. I want to extract this value from this HTML to my Python. How I can do that? With this particular lines of code. Method equals to post, post. Then my first variable, let's say ABC, means I will store this value in A, this value in B, this value in C. So A equals to request dot form, and in this I need to mention the name of this variable. So I need to open the HTML. You can see the coding for research and spend. So the variable name what I have given v1. So that value which was entered by the user, that will going to save in v1. So I have to write, I want to extract the value of v1. Similarly, b equals to request dot form v2. I'll write here v2. Then c equals to request dot form. I'll write v3 here. So all the values will be captured, will be transferred to these three variables, but in a string format. Always remember, but in a string format. We need to convert those values in a float format, float or string. So let's say float. So I'm going to convert these values float. Why they are taking it as a string? Because in the HTML, you can see I have mentioned type should be textual type. And this is by default always text. You need to convert manually need to do typecasting. So this is the very basic example of a machine learning app or artificial intelligence application. So I have collected these three variables here. Now I will make predictions from this particular data. How I will make prediction? I will use my model. So what was my model name? My model name was model. So I will write model means result means profit. Let's say profit equals to model dot predict model dot predict. In list, I need to pass these three variables A, B, C, and one more list. Now I want to display this particular answer, this particular profit to this particular page here. So how I can do that? I need to open my HTML. So where exactly you want to display that particular thing? Let's say here. Your company's profit is here. If you want to pass any value from Python to HTML, then you need to write a variable name in this. Let's say the variable name is pro. The variable name is pro. I'm going to save this. Make sure you need to remember the variable name is pro. Here I will going to transfer that value profit here in place of pro. So here I will write return render template. Will write the template name. My template name was D drive. What was my template name? gbu.html, gbu.html. Along with this, I will going to return one more thing, and that is variable. My variable name is profit. You can see profit. But where exactly I am going to pass this value? I'm going to pass this value to this pro. So I will write pro equals to profit. This profit is this value, which will be calculated by the model, and that value will be saved, or that value will be passed to this pro. What is pro? Pro is a variable in HTML. Now we're going to run this code. So here you can see your company's profit is, as of now, it is completely blank. Now I will pass the values. Let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 2000, 5000. Now I will click on submit button. Error. Okay, wait. The request URL was not found on the server. If you have entered the URL manually, please check your spelling and try again. Okay, just wait. Some URL error is there. And why it is? Form name is fine. Yeah, form name is fine. Details, and here it is. Details. Spelling is also fine. Correct. Request.post. Okay. HTML form action details method or research spend input type text name v1 v2 v3 text your company's profit, everything is fine in here. Float. Just wait. I'm going to remove this float as of now, but later on we have to do this. To check the error, we can do one more thing. Okay, now I got the solution. App.run. App.run. Now I guess it should work. Now it should work, as I believe. First of all, I'm going to write any test values. Internal server overloaded. Okay. Okay, now I got it. Now we need to convert this into the float. stop and run again. This will take some time because machine learning project is actually, they are running on the background of HTML. You can see the profit now. So if you are entering anything, let's say 2000, 2000, 2000, you can see the current output 54657, 55303. So this is nothing but the AI application. You just need to pass the details of those diabetic patients in the portal, and this model will going to calculate whether that person is suffering from diabetes or not. This is the machine learning deployment. Later on, if this model is working fine, then we will pass this model to our deployment team, those who are good in HTML, CSS, website designing, or we can say full stack developer. They will going to design my app with the proper layout, with the proper banner, everything, proper login information, login admin. Then this portal will come up. Then this will going to make prediction. This output, instead of this will be in a big font, or maybe in a good format, good fonts, good format, a zoom, size, everything. They will be responsible for these kind of things. But as a machine learning engineer, AI developer, machine learning developer, your jobs and responsibility is till this point, just the test deployment. So test deployment is done. Later on, this will be converted as a web application, and this will be distributed to the medical domains. So if you have data of diabetic patient, you can make your own web application that will going to make prediction on diabetes. Similarly, if you have the data of COVID patients, let's say their X-ray reports, then you can make your own web application. In that, you just need to pass the images of their chest X-ray, and that model will going to tell you whether that person is suffering from COVID-19 or not. So this is machine learning. So if you have any question, any doubt, you can ask. I know today the level was very high because I have not explained you about Flask. Flask is actually a technology. So in a single session, we can't learn things about Flask, but Flask is very, very important in machine learning, artificial intelligence. If you want to develop a web application, then only. So if you want to publish your application, your machine learning model into the web, then you can do this. Similarly, I have a student. He has developed his own application. Currently, he has already developed the COVID-19 application, but that application is under the deployment phase. Means that is actually not he has not developed that application as a web application, but as a system, it is working. He has developed one application on Heroku Cloud. You can deploy your application either in Heroku or AWS. These kind of things. Means if you want this should work as a website, then you need to deploy this particular thing to a particular domain. If you have your own domain from godaddy.com, something like that, then there you can deploy this model. If you don't have your site, then you can deploy this particular model to Heroku or AWS, Azure, Google Cloud. See, this is his website. Not website, it is a cloud. You need to pass these information. He is a diploma student, and you can see what you can expect from a diploma student. You can understand. Not even a bachelor. So you just need to pass few parameters into this portal. And what are all these parameters are, I'll tell you. If you want to know, he has already mentioned this parameter is responsible for this. His name is Mohammed Saif. He's a diploma student. So once you click on this predict function, this website will tell you whether you are eligible for this bank to open an account or not. So I'm going to click on this predict button. You can see it says, sorry, no chance for the subscription of ban. So this was the application he has developed. So this is machine learning. Now, if you have any question, any doubt, now I will be able to answer to those. 51, I'm sorry, actually pop up again and again. So I will read out all the answers, questions which have been asked. So nice presentation, lovely, nice presentation. Thank you so much, wonderful session. So you have, if you do any more session like this, please invite me via email. You need to contact Apoor for the same, because session they are organized by Apoor only. Nice presentation, helpful. Thank you. Please share the presentation.
Sir, I am sharing our official number in the group chat.
Okay, okay. Nancy, thank you. I'm from EIE, and AI is very important for us. Yes, AI is actually very important for almost every domain, even for pharmacy, farmers, even farmer in agriculture. AI machine learning is important. How much pesticide you should use, how much seeds, something like that. How much amount of those things we should use for our crops, for we can preserve them for most of the time. Let's say the expiry date is 1 month, how we can extend those expiry dates with the help of pesticides. So, but how much pesticide we should use so that it should not damage the product, but it will increase their life. Send your PPT and coding. Padma Priya, you can get the PPT and coding from the Apurv. It was very informative. Session like this, kindly invite me via email. Okay, very nice lecture, RS Singh. Okay, thank you, thank you. Please send me the class recording through email. I have not received. Use 00 web host to develop my website. So again, a question has been asked from Deborah, and that question is, I use 00 web host to develop my application. You can use, we don't have any problem, but make sure that port is actually active. If it is blocked by your website, let's say one day I was hosting my machine learning project to godaddy.com. When I was trying to execute the model, I was getting some errors and I was not aware of that. But later on, when I Google it, I got to know that some host and some settings, they are actually disabled by the godaddy.com. So I send an email to them and they enable that particular option. And after that, I was able to deploy my product into the websites, GoDaddy websites. Please share Jupyter Notebook for this session. You can get it from Apoor. AI machine learning is very important in my domain. Yes, it is. So I want to specialize in it. Okay. You should start your career with Python, machine learning, data science. Then you should move to deep learning and artificial intelligence. So can we make this application by Android Studio also? Shreyas, this question has been asked from Shreyas. Can we develop this application by Android Studio? See, I am from this particular profile, data scientist, machine learning, artificial intelligence, big data even, and Python. So I'm not aware of Android Studio. So I'm not sure whether you will be able to develop this application from Android Studio or not. But if you are developing some Android application, then most probably you can develop. Most probably you can develop, but I'm not sure because I'm not from that particular domain. It's free for 1 month. Free for 1 month. What? I'm not getting you. Please share the code slides by email registered with you. Okay, Amit Jain. Do we need to fill the above Google form? Yes, Anusha, you need to fill the above Google form. Then only you will get your e-certification of this participation of this webinar. You will get the certification after you filling up your details into the form. I want to learn what is the course span. What is course span? Course span means? Swapna, just elaborate your query. I'm not getting you. Kindly send the recording lessons through the email. It's informative, sir. I know Python. Okay. Trying to learn AI. Okay. Okay. So I guess there is no doubt. So still, if you have any doubt, any question, you can ask. So one question has been asked from, okay, my name is different, Evergreen. So is it possible to work on AI using Java? It is possible. It is possible. Now you need to understand one more thing. Everyone, you should understand. I'm going to demonstrate one more thing. Just it will take 5 to 10 minutes more. So let's say I have to display my name using C++ language, C++. I'm not aware of Java, so just guide me if I'm getting wrong anywhere. So in C++, hash include iostream dot h void main h void main means I was aware of Java earlier, C++, Java, C Sharp, but so much ambiguity was there. So I just want to try to forget things about Java, C++, .NET. I just want to stay in Python. Then cout hello world. Sorry, not hello world, my name. Now, this was the code in C++. How many lines of codes are there? 5. Now I'm doing the same thing in Java. First of all, we need to create a class, then the body of this class, then public static void main function, public static void main function, and this command line argument is string args, then system as capital I guess, system dot out dot print ln Nitin Srivastava. Now you can calculate the lines of code 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So in C++, 5 lines, in Java, 7 lines. In Python, just 1 line. So if you are doing your machine learning course with the Java or C++ or some other programming language, then you need to understand the thing. Lines of code will be more in C++ and Java as well as in not in Python. Python it is less. So if you want to debug your code, let's say if you are getting some errors, so it is very difficult to rectify your error while you're writing your code in C++. Even in Java, it is very, very difficult to debug your code because lines of code is extremely very large. If you're developing this application in this Python, I guess it is less than 30 lines. I guess it is less than 30 lines. But if you are implementing the same thing in the Java, then I guess it will take almost more than 90 or 100 lines. If you are getting any error somewhere else, so it is very difficult to debug those errors. So I recommend you to not go with Java and C++. Rest, it is your choice. But there is one more factor, number of jobs. So there are more number of jobs in Python, apart from Java, apart from C++. So if the number of jobs is more in Python, then you should go for Python only. The rest is your choice. If you are very good in Java, you should go for Java. How to contact you? You can contact me via Apurv. So it's not a... So Apurv, there's a question for you. The number which you have shared, that is not a WhatsApp number, I guess, either.
Sir, it's WhatsApp number. I'm sharing my number again.
Okay. And Amit Jain, he's asking for the feedback. Okay, it is already shared, I guess. Yes. Please share the Jupyter coding for done the machine learning. Okay. Thank you, sir. Okay. So this is all from my end. I hope the session was informative. And we have one more thing from Mapping Skills. This is for summer training internship. So I have done for the AI and machine learning webinar. If you have any further questions, you can ask. So I'm almost about to leave the meeting.
Thank you so much, Nitin sir, for a wonderful session. And I would like to thank Dr. Pradeep Tomar sir from Gautam Buddha University for organizing this session. So I hope this session will be useful for all. And if you want to organize these kind of sessions, you can contact us. And we are also providing summer internship training for students and professionals with live sessions and live projects. So you can contact us also for the same.
Okay. Actually, I need one more, means 5 more minutes, because there was one doubt from Sachin. He wants to know the working scenario of logistic regression. Means he was asking this question from very beginning, so I need to answer that as well. So, Sachin, we have two types of supervised machine learning. The two types are prediction and classification. Prediction means we are actually predicting a continuous number. Continuous number means if I'm going to predict salary, salary could be anything. Let's say 13,000, or let's say 13.1, 13.2, 13,100, 13,200, something like this. These are my continuous number. Then you need to classify things like whether this person is suffering from diabetes. Yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. 010101, or dog cat, dog cat, dog cat. When you have this kind of scenario, then only you can use logistic regression. Logistic regression is a model which is based on probability. The output which you are getting, it is always in probability. 0.9 chances are there that person should have diabetes. 0.6% chances are there that person should have diabetes. This kind of things we are getting from logistic regression. But make sure logistic regression is a classification model. When your situation, when your data set is like 0, 1, or let's say whether this person will going to purchase this product or not, not yet, no, yes, no, yes, these kind of situation when you have, then only you have to use logistic regression. So we have two types of supervised machine learning: prediction and classification. So the example which I have explained, that is the example of prediction. And logistic regression, which you are talking about, that is example of classification. Whether that person suffering from diabetes, no or not. COVID-19, yes, no. Any disease, yes, no. Any answer, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. These kind of things. There you can use logistic regression. In logistic regression, we have so many things. We have regularization techniques, we have penalty factor, we have probabilities, we have confusion matrix, we have so many things in classification. And yes, classification is very, very important. Who wants to, after your graduation, if you are willing to do any kind of job in data science machine learning domain, then classification field is very, very important. You will get n number of jobs in classification field. So classification is very, very important. So this is all from my end. So thank you. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day. Stay safe. Stay home. Thank you, admin.